Welcome to Under the Sun podcast. I'm Aileeah.
And I'm Emily.
Grab a cup of coffee and join us every other Wednesday as we discuss all things holistic health, faith, relationships, going against the grain, and really everything under the sun. Let's get started, and thanks for being here.
Climbing a mountain every day. You really want to exert.
Dave, I'm climbing a mountain.
Every day.
Every day. Do you remember that from the podcast?
No, I don't. What podcast?
From this podcast. You were the switcher, and Emily was like, someone did a study that basically said that, you know,
when you're pregnant, you exert the same amount of energy as like someone climbing a mountain.
Yeah. So like when I
was busy focusing on my camera switching job. That's why I missed that.
Sure. Yeah. And then today I'm like stretching my back against the wall, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just stretching my back." He's like, "Man, my back was so sore today." And I'm like, I mean, I care. I totally love you, and I totally care, but it's just a little.
You're
different.
right. That was like a total jerk move. I didn't even realize that. Sorry.
He was just trying to have empathy, right?
Did you
be like, "Oh yeah, me too."
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you still. It's cool. How are you? How's your life?
Good. Yeah, I feel like. Yes, busy, but just like busy because we're playing games and going on walks and listening to books and reading books and that kind of busy, which is great. Like the warm weather helps.
And finally, where we live, it's warm, consistently. It's like, even if it's cloudy, it's warm, which is life-giving.
Yes.
I'm like a plant. I'm like in the winter time, and in the fall, I'm just dead and curled up on the ground. But in the spring and summer, I got personality, and I'm a happy person.
Yeah. I feel like everyone was just a little bit tired, and I don't know if crabby is the right word, but John was like, let's go for a hike. And so Alex was like kind of being, Eeyore about it. Like, but there might be ticks.
Oh,
well, it might be hot, and I was like, you're fine. Let's go. But again, like everybody, because it's nice out. Yeah. You can just like throw shoes on and go.
Yeah.
Versus like in the winter, a hike through the woods takes enough gloves and enough hats and coats and all the things,
Do you guys hike in the winter?
Sometimes, yeah. We try to. It depends on how cold it is and wherever. I think more towards like once we hit like February, we're done. But sometimes we make it to January of still like going in the woods and hiking and stuff. Depends on the snow. Yeah. But again, like everybody just specifically Alex, like his whole demeanor changed by the time we were done, but so I love that. But how about you?
Good. Still pregnant. It's fine. I mean, I'm 38 weeks at this moment. Probably by the time this one airs though, we will have a baby.
Woo.
I mean, definitely. If I'm still pregnant a month from now, like somebody come find me and strangle me. I'm just kidding. It's great.
I think, we've talked about some strategies how to get that moving.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, so now I'm in this whole pickle of, I totally thought, I wasn't totally convinced, but I just felt off, and like she was really low. It was all very like, I don't know. And my belly just felt different. It wasn't like, I wouldn't call them contractions. Mm-hmm. It was different. It all felt different. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what this is. So we like cleaned the house because we were like, let's make sure the house is at least halfway decent. And it all tapered off. Like as soon as I laid down, like my stomach stopped being so tight and stuff. And so I was like, okay, so I'll just get a good night's rest. It's fine. But now like, it's so dumb, but the photographer and videographer that we hired, Libby, her name was Libby Moore. Now it's like Libby Bennington. She's got married. But she's coming to video and take pictures of the birth because like, it's our first kid. And like, I want that memory. And plus I'm going to post a vlog about it. And so, I want her to be there, but she's out of town for her sister's wedding from today until Monday. And so I'm like, we'll just stop, just let up a little bit on the trying to encourage things to happen.
Yes.
Just a little. So it's just now it's like a weird holding phase of like, that's the thing we're waiting for. Like there's nothing really else my mind is focused on except for like basically editing these podcasts, posting them, getting them ready so that I can take that little break of maternity leave and then just birthing her and hanging out with her. and us just having the bonding time as a family. So that's just kind of.
Yeah. I feel like there's like tension. I don't know if you would describe it that way, but I feel like before my kids, there was just like this tension of like, how do I play my life? I'm not sure, but like come, but don't come because I want you to come if you're not ready to come.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to meet you. So you should probably come.
Yeah.
But then I could use a couple extra days of sleep before you come. So I can't make up my mind.
I feel that. Cause like sometimes like I'll, have like plenty of red raspberry leaf tea, plenty of dates and, make the whoop and all the stuff. And like, I'm like, oh, but like, I hope it works. And I'm like, I hope you're ready though. Like if I know she won't send that hormone unless she's ready to come, but still I wouldn't mind being able to sleep on my belly. That's just how I used to sleep. And that's what I'm looking forward to. But it's all wonderful. And I'm sure I'll forget all about it. Cause when it comes to the first trimester, the second trimester, I don't remember crap. Like my brain has already been like, let's replace it with something positive. I'm like, oh, it was so good to be in the first and second trimester. And I was like, I was so sick. Like, no. So
it's why we don't remember though. So we do it again.
I know.
Otherwise.
Yeah. And like being like this pregnant, when people are like, how are you doing? My brain goes to, I think we're just going to have one kid. Like, I think we'll adopt the rest. And I'm like, oh, my brain will probably wipe all that clear.
Yeah. Until you start nursing and then you get those hormones and then you're like, oh, I could do this again.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but I think she's going to be adorable. Just also exciting, right? You're like, I want to see her.
Yeah.
What does she look like?
I know. That's like, I'm assuming she'll be blonde because Dave was blonde. I was blonde. But the thing is I was 10'4" and Dave was like 6 something. And we're both really tall, but she has a big butt. I mean, I can tell, but anyhow, yeah.
So fun.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time the last couple of times we've gone to podcasts, I'm like waiting, like, are we on? We're good? Baby? No baby? Okay.
I'll let you know. Actually, unless my brain just goes over, but yeah, we're excited, right? You're excited? Ready? Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
You better say yes, Dave.
I did. Sorry, I was shaking my head.
He shook his head. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like the last couple of episodes have been pretty not medical, but like informational and like educational, which, we've gotten a lot of great feedback, which is awesome that like people are getting value from it, which is awesome. But we thought we'd like lighten it up a little bit and just go through our top products that we love and like use. For me, it was like what I use daily and like what the things that, I would definitely replace and such. So, I got 5. We originally said top 10, but then I was like, 5 is good, but
sufficient.
Do you want to kick it off or do you want me to?
Oh, you kick it off.
Okay.
I really, though, the whole way over here was singing Now I lost it from Sound of Music.
Oh, these are a few of my favorite. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, you made the guess like on what was that? On Marco Polo. You're like, I think you're going to end up singing a song. I was like, I wouldn't doubt it.
But just have a musical episode.
I
won't sing because people may shut it off if I do.
I mean, they might shut off if I sing too. Who knows? But so my favorite. So we'll just kick it off then. One of my favorite things, I wouldn't say I use it every day, but I do use it weekly, multiple times a week, is my dry brush.
Yes.
And I just like Googled a couple of the benefits because I noticed a difference, especially with being pregnant. And some days I'm more swollen than others. And those are usually the days I'm pretty dehydrated. That it just helps with like lymphatic drainage. And then it's great because it exfoliates your skin. And because it, has the lymphatic stimulation and removes toxins. These are all the things the internet tells me. Increases circulation, energy, and helps break down cellulite, which isn't, a bad thing. So that's my, I wouldn't say it's my number one, but it is number one on the list in the term of when I walked around my house and I was like, oh, I use that frequently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I was curious if any of ours will overlap because for sure, right? I mean, dry brush is like I don't know. Do you use yours in the morning or the evening or doesn't matter?
Depends when I shower because I usually always pair it with a shower or a bath.
Yeah.
Because it does, like, it exfoliates. So then you look all ashy and stuff. So, but I usually always pair it with a shower.
Yeah. Yeah. I love dry brushing. I actually like doing it right before sauna.
Okay.
Because I feel like it just gets things moving. And then you
Nice.
sauna and you're like, oh, there you go. But it's also really great for kids who have like nervous system issues. And then you dry brush and it actually like helps like their nerves. Like sometimes with kids, right? It's like, I don't know where you go, where you begin and I end kind of thing. And their nervous system is crazy. And then you dry brush and you're like, oh, it just calms them down. But
interesting.
Do you feel calmer? Do you notice like a nervous system response when you use it?
I don't know if it's hard to tell because I always dry brush and usually it's followed by like an Epsom salt bath.
Yeah.
And so like those are usually paired and that's relaxing. But usually I can like tell when I need it. Like I'm like, I could use that. I don't know what it is, but like that, like the bristles are like calming now.
Yeah.
Like at first it was like painful. Like it was like, this is like terrible. I remember when you first told me to start doing dry brushing, you were like dry brush and I was like, this is awful. Like I'm not going to do this and like for a long time. And now I still do it and I do it like weekly and it's awesome. I like it.
It's awesome. That was a good favorite thing. And it's easy. Like it's such a simple thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I was going to say King Coffee, but now that you're on the dry brush to like go in with that, I would say probably I don't know if I never know if I say it right. My Gasha stone for your face.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
your face lymphatics.
Yeah.
So to go
I
on
almost
with the
put that on there.
Yeah. Is my favorite. Like absolutely. Like I feel like probably from a stress response, I just hold tension.
Yeah.
You know, and then like sinuses and then like just lymphatic drainage tends to like, for me, get clogged more on that like neckline. And so I don't know, like it's like a little bit of like in my just morning and evening skin routine, like to do that. And even sometimes during the day, if I feel like tension, I will just go and like do the stone all over my face. And it feels awesome.
It's awesome. How do you pronounce it?
Gasha stone.
I don't know. I don't know why I had a W. I'm like Guasha.
Guasha. Maybe it is.
I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't have a W, but maybe that's how you say it.
I don't know where I got it and why I say it that way, but I do. I have it and I saw it and I thought about putting that in there, but I was like, two things about lymphatic. I probably shouldn't do that. But it's the same. Like I get like my right like node here.
Yeah.
Like I can, like I just put some jojoba oil on and just like work it out. And then usually it's like, it feels so much better. Yeah.
Yes.
Or even in sinuses, like with Dave, sometimes I'll massage his face and he's like, what is happening? This is fantastic. And I'm like, you're welcome.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have the one with like the
spikies?
Yes.
Yes. That makes sense.
It works with wrinkles. Yeah. Like if you like work them out on your forehead, I'm like, ooh, they're gone for like a day.
Yeah. It's awesome. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I've done the like with your hands, but like, I feel like it doesn't quite dig in as much.
Yeah. Yeah. I know somebody was like, you don't really like, even with dry brushing, like for lymphatics, like you don't need a lot of pressure. And I'm like, oh, but I like, I like digging in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels better. Like wakes you up.
Yeah.
Or makes you relax depending on, but yeah.
Yeah. That's
I would
awesome.
say that's definitely something I use daily.
Something else that I've been doing, and I don't know if I got it from you. I don't know where it happened, but don't look at my notes. You Snoopy McGee.
Totally looked at your notes.
Is toe separators.
It's totally like in my mental list. I was like, I'm going to talk about all of these. And if Aileeah talks about them, then I will go to like my list B, but totally would have been on my list. No.
It was or it wasn't?
It's on my list B if you didn't talk about it.
Yeah. So toe separators. Yeah. I don't even know if Dave and I have talked about this, but I just feel like it helps my hips. Like it for years. I'm a tall gal. I'm almost 6 foot, 5'11" 3/4. And and I have like size 9 feet. Now that I'm pregnant, it's 9.5. It's fine. But like I was always just embarrassed of my feet. So I always wore shoes that were too small.
Yeah.
And always like I was in the era of pointy shoes were popular and like heels and stuff. And so I didn't even realize the damage that I was doing by like pinching my toes together and they just stayed that way. So then I don't know if it was you. I don't know where I heard it. Maybe I saw it on Instagram somewhere, but I got them. And once I started wearing them, now I cannot, like, I literally got rid of all the shoes because they feel so constricting and uncomfortable that, like I can't, I just got rid of them and bought all like barefoot shoes, which we'll talk about later.
That's funny. Cause I was going to say that would be my next one.
Okay,
would be
go ahead.
Just the I absolutely love barefoot shoes.
Yeah.
Like I almost like, if I'm not walking barefoot, it feels funny to really wear anything else.
Yeah.
Because they are my favorite. So anything that has like that wider toe box and then the flexibility of it.
Yeah. I think the idea is like for barefoot, and our kid won't be in shoes for forever, but the shoes that people have gotten me, like there's a couple I've like returned or exchanged because like the sole is so hard. And I'm like, I don't want to interfere with her foot, with a super hard sole. So all the ones I've exchanged them for like really flexible, bendy soles. And that's like kind of my criteria too. When I look for shoes, they need to be wide or barefoot. And the soles need to be more pliable so that like it helps. I don't know. I think people always think like go for support, but I'm like, that's not really how we were originally intended to walk. So
Yeah. I mean, and it makes sense, right? Like when you think about how the foot steps and those toes separate as you step.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's always our like try on a pair of shoes, stretch your toes out all the way. If you can stretch them out all the way, then it's wide enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and have you ever done with like to test how strong your feet are, right? Because you think there's so many nerve endings in our feet. So there's so much, implications of what we do to our feet affects our brains and our hips and all those things. But a really funny, I don't know, it's funny. I think it's funny. The kids and I always do it, is called the marker test. Have you ever done this?
No.
So you take a marker you're only allowed to use your toes. You have to uncap the marker and recap the marker, only using your toes.
Okay.
And it's a fun test to see like how strong, flexible, how much function do your feet have.
Interesting.
Sometimes
I know what I'm doing tonight.
Sometimes we'll try to like write in your name or something with your.
Well, I remember as a kid because I was like a latchkey kid. I was just always outside, always climbing trees. Like it many times, like my mom would come out and like yell that dinner was ready. And I would be like in the top of a tree, dangerously high, like should not have been up that high.
You're like swaying.
But I would always like climb it barefoot. Like my mom called me Mowgli. I just remember being called like Mowgli because I would climb trees and whatnot. But I remember like, this is so weird, but like I remember being a kid who always picked things up with my toes. But then like I became like a teenager and I like started wearing heels and then like, I don't know, at some point just lost it. But I can tell when I'm in shoes that are constricting because it like my hips hurt and usually like I end up, mind you, it could be pregnancy too, but I end up with like more leg cramps and stuff. So now I just don't own them.
Yeah.
Or they're sitting in a donation bin because they didn't meet the criteria. So
no, I think that's awesome. I think that's fantastic and fascinating that you can tell a difference with your hips. I'm not sure I've ever paid attention structurally to how I feel other than like, I know I've watched my children and I've watched the gait of their hips and I can tell, when it's like, ooh, what shoes have you been wearing? Who gave you those shoes?
Yeah.
Because often it's like, someone who will show up with like shoes. I'm like, yeah, that's okay. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Exchange.
Yes. Yeah. And honestly, sometimes we just we don't even put shoes on the kids. We're like, just go run.
Yeah.
Be smart.
Yeah.
Look where you're stepping. And then, go run. Because it is that. And I would say even with the like barefoot sandals are also my favorite.
Yeah.
I just feel like they're easy to move around in.
Yeah. I'm in a season where I'm disappointed because like the barefoot sandals I have, can't even remember the brand. Zero. I think Zero is the brand. But like, because like my foot shape has changed in pregnancy, like the clasp doesn't like meet the Velcro.
Oh,
and so I just bought like $17 ones from Walmart that are just sandals that slip on. Cause I'm like, this is just a season. I'm not going to go buy a whole other pair that like
when your foot's going to go back.
Yeah. So good times.
Yeah.
Things people don't tell you about pregnancy.
Toe spacers are also really great for kids. I mean, not babies, but Correct Toes, I think, is the brand that's more preferred, that I would say more preferred than the toe spacer brand for kids.
I don't plan on putting shoes or socks on her for like a year. Because why? Like,
right. Even socks, when you think of like how constricting socks are.
Yeah. And that is something that Dave and I had a discussion about. And luckily he has forgotten until I just brought it up. But like, he was like looking through her stuff that I had like, washed and put away. And he was like, she doesn't have enough socks. We need to get her more socks. And we've gotten some at showers and stuff. But like, I was like, I can't even keep our own socks straight. I was like, I'm not doing baby socks. Like, we're not doing it. She can be wrapped up in a blanket, like something that I can find. It won't get lost in the washer.
Yes.
So yours were barefoot shoes. Okay. So I'm switching the
order. I'm just playing off what you said. I'm like, yep, that would also be on my list.
I'm switching gears a little bit. And it is, have you heard of, I'm assuming it's called L period, but it's like chlorine free, fragrance free, dye free pads. And I don't know if I
have not heard of that brand.
It's just at Target, and it's like the most clean one I can find at like a store that's readily available. But like, mind you, I haven't used pads in like 9 months. So, but I did just have to purchase them again because I'm making pad sickles for postpartum. And so for me, it was important. I'm like, hey, if there's going to be like open sores down there, and also like when I'm on my period too, I don't want like those things can interfere with pH and fragrances affect hormones. So I don't want that stuff like on my lady bits. And so I went and bought some for postpartum, and I'm going to put some of the postpartum soothe herbs that are stewing right now upstairs on there. And so those are always like, every bathroom is stocked because I don't know. Have you ever been to someone's house and you're like before I tracked my period or like you think it's over and then you're at someone's house and you're like, I don't want to like dig through their cabinets, and see if they have a pad. So I always have them out like in a little cute decorative tray. No, is that weird?
It's not weird. It's just not a thought I've had, but I think that is a genius
I have been there where I'm like in someone's house. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, person. I only kind of know. I'm going to go through your cabinets and see if you have a pad. So and so I usually just have them out. So it's a little less weird. But I've had multiple people
smart idea.
I had multiple people be like, thanks for having those out. I'm like, yeah, happy to. So
good idea.
Yeah.
I might have to think about that.
Yeah. So non-toxic, which I guess this kind of goes with it. I'm just thinking of this now, but I also haven't had I've had a period in like 9 months. So the Diva Cup. I don't know if I loved it at the time because like we would have shows and performances where I'd have to be on stage, and I loathe tampons with a passion. Even the non-toxic ones, like I just don't do it. I hate it. So the Diva Cup is something that I really love.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are good. Those are good must-haves, especially, when you think of having a daughter.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I feel like for me, having a daughter was like, this is not only important for me to research and understand, but it's also going to be important for me to know how to support you once you hit that age.
Yeah.
To know what options are out there. Because I know so many people that just switched to an organic tampon and their UTI stopped,
Yeah.
And that's all. The only thing they changed was Playtex to, something organic and non-toxic, and that shifted. So
wow, interesting.
The importance of what we put down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know if I have anything to go off of that.
Come on.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just going to jump to skin.
Yeah. And you don't have to stay on the same theme.
I know, but I liked it. It was like flowing really well.
Okay.
Yeah, I would probably say the next, I am not a huge fan of like 20 products that I have to do, right?
Yeah.
Like every night before bed. But I feel like the skin routine I have, I just absolutely love, and it's pretty simple, which is just my favorite. So in general, just a charcoal bar. That's right now I'm using from MIG, from Mighty and Good. I feel like that is my favorite charcoal bar. And then I use Primally Pure Everything spray. And then MIG also has a like beeswax based lotion bar. And so
nice.
It's like 3 products and I'm just done. And I feel like my skin.
You do that every night?
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what?
No, not always.
Oh, okay. I was like, are you okay? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no.
I have to say like half of the week. Like half of the week I'm responsible. And I'm like, I wash my face before I go to bed. And then half of the time I just go to sleep.
Yes. I feel like, again, we're at this new phase of like me also trying to teach my children. Like we're entering into that phase too, where, you know, Kate will be like, when do I get to wear makeup? Or when do I get to do this? Right. And it's like, if you're then you also have to be responsible for washing your face. Not that we are great at, but I'm trying to be a good example. So, and honestly, that, and then like the Gosha stone, like doing the Gosha stone, like after all of that, like it's just feels refreshing. So it depends. I feel like it's part of my routine of just like, I don't know, it makes me sound like a baby, but I'm very, very intentional 90% of the time with my own personal bedtime routine. I feel like I sleep so much better if it's like my body just knows like, okay, we're just going through the motions of getting ready to go to sleep. And as we walk through that bedtime routine, then I hit the bed, hit the pillow and I'm out. Versus if I'm just running, doing all these things and I'm like, oh my word, I'm tired. I got to go to bed. Then I will like toss and turn and I just don't, it's not the same type of sleep as when I slowly get to sleep. So it's probably more those products I think are.
You're such a good adult.
Well, I also have to practice what I preach. And when people are like, I can't sleep at night, I'm like, well, you have to like let your body, right? Like that's how our bodies work. Like that's how it would have worked before technology, where like the sun slowly went down. And if you would have used light, it would have been like a orange ember type of light, you know, and then your body naturally could increases melatonin and all these things. Like you can't tell people that and then not also follow. But it, I don't know, makes a big difference. So I feel like my routine is set. And then if I can just use a few products that seem like they do more than like several products together. Yeah. Makes a difference.
It's not a part of my list, but maybe it's something I'll just add in to the links or something. But like I finally have, I think my staple makeup items instead of like hunting that are like, you know, they're not like 100% organic, like, but they're like the, cause I haven't found an organic brand or like a healthy brand that like actually last on me or on my skin. So like finally found like the probably 5 products that I'm like happy with. And I don't think I'll change. And I don't think I'll add anything else. Cause we've been doing the whole like minimalist ish kind of lifestyle, but
yeah. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I've been meaning to get a charcoal bar. I'll try the MIG.
Yeah. I do like it. I like it a lot. And I can't remember the ingredients that are different. But I feel like it doesn't dry. So sometimes even like Beauty Counter's charcoal bar would dry out my face a little bit, where this one doesn't. So
nice. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'll keep it on the care real quick, which it's not like definitely not like a healthy alternative. Like this is not like we're typically pretty, you know, granola on this podcast, but
this is not
granola. And life is about moderation. And there are some things that just bring you joy. And that is gel nail polish.
Okay.
And I ordered a gel light and polish. I do it. I have done it for like 2 years, 3 years. I'm like, it just changes your personality. Dave, you probably won't understand this as a male, but like as a female, like for me, if I feel like I have painted nails and not disgusting toes and like painted toes, like my life is just better. I'm like, oh, I'm a nicer person. I don't know why.
How long does your nail polish last when you do
like
it
about a month?
Okay. And it doesn't.
Yeah. I use gloves when I wash dishes because I hate my fingers being wet.
Yeah.
Like even when I take a bath, I'm like, I don't want my hands.
Do you wear gloves when you take a bath?
No, I don't let any of my, I don't let my hands like get wet. Like I always like, you know, relax like this.
Yeah.
But like they don't sit and soak because I don't like it.
So you can wash them, but like to like sit in water.
No, they don't. Really so like when I wash dishes, that's why they last so long is because I wash dishes with gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
But
I feel like
they last about a month, which is nice. And it's just, you know, a little joy. And then if you put them on your toes, like mine lasts like 2 months.
Okay. I was going to ask if you do on your toast.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a particular brand?
I'll link it below, but like I just bought like a new neutral color set that I just have like a base coat and a top coat that you buy separately. And then like you cure it under the blue light, UV light, whatever. And it just lasts forever and it just boosts your mood. It's great. Toxins be damned. Like sometimes you just gotta, yeah.
I love it. That's awesome. No, I think
I'll send you the link in case you want it.
It's the little things, right?
It is.
I mean, it's the little things that sometimes I think like I don't even remember if we talked about this earlier, if it's just in my head, but like it's mindset, right? Like, so if it's a little bit of something, so this is kind of probably digressing, but I had listened to, someone was talking the other day about like getting your kids in nature and whatever. It's on this nature podcast. And he was talking about how, which I would agree, it was just like that, fresh reminder of like, we set the tone, like as parents, we set the tone. And so I feel like if it's the little things, right? Like if it's like mom takes a minute to just do something like paint her nails, like if that, like you said, like that's just a little bit of like a boost, like, whew, I feel put together,
Yeah.
Then
it's like when your bra and underwear matches. Do you ever feel that way?
No. Mm-mm.
Girl, it's like when your bra and underwear matches, like I'm like, and if I have my nails painted and my bra and underwear matches,
It's just like
I'm
your
like,
day.
I am killing it as an adult. I am winning. Is that just me?
I don't know. That's not me, but that doesn't mean that's not someone else out there.
Man, I'm on fire when I have matching underwear and a bra. But, that's not happening right now because like, nursing bras, boob size changing. It's great. Love it. But yeah. So
that's awesome.
We'll link all this stuff, but the gel light and the polisher, great mood boosters.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, then you can just do it whenever, which is nice because sometimes it's like you don't want to have to get an appointment to go into the salon and then get someone to watch your kids or whatever. But to have that option at home.
Yeah. There is also nothing like a great pedicure. Like I almost always like to paint my own nails because I'm a little persnickety, but to go in and have someone rub you is also real great.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are some good non-toxic nail polish if you don't want to do the gels.
Yeah, but how long is that going to last?
Yeah.
I'm like, because I hate the look of chipped nail polish because once it starts to chip, I take it off.
You don't pick it off?
No, I pick it off, but if I pick it off, I pick it all off at once.
I'll say, I feel like I've seen, is it you? I thought I saw you once. It was a long time ago, like picky night.
Yeah, but if it starts, then it's all got to go. Like it'll be probably within 24 hours, like they're soaking and coming off. But
yeah, I've never been into that. And I wonder if part of it was because you just totally checked out my nails.
I did. What's wrong? You have good nails.
No, thanks. I don't know if it was like years of swim team. Like you just could never, like that would just have come off in the chlorine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was like that. Like, I don't know. Maybe that was the pivotal moment of like enjoying nail polish and I just never could wear it. I don't know. That's funny. I don't ever paint my nails. But now I might have to try the gel. Maybe I would like it if it stayed
Come
on.
over. Let me paint your nails.
Okay.
And we'll see what you think of it.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, I'd say obviously for anyone who wouldn't, I'd say I can't have like top favorite things and not talk about King coffee because I feel like it pretty much.
Well, you're holding it right. Well, you have a latte right now.
But yeah, in general, I feel like I've probably had like 4 or 5 already today. So
excellent.
Yes,
all King or some latte.
Latte right now, but mostly the King.
I intentionally did not add coffee to my list because I was like, it will for sure be on Emily's list. It'll for sure.
For sure. I mean, it is. And I think the beauty of it is, one, I just feel better when I drink it. 2, I feel like I can go through days where maybe in certain seasons, like I'm not great about intentionality as intentional as I should be when it comes to food or supplements or whatever. But like, I will always have coffee. And, for going for years of not being able to drink it because it made me feel so terrible to like having something that I can drink 4 or 5 cups. And I'm like, oh, I feel great.
Yeah.
And don't feel dehydrated and I could just keep going, that, is my favorite. It is. especially during the winter when it was just cold and like just wasn't getting warm. I was like, I have a problem, guys.
There were some days that, man, like if we didn't have King coffee, I was like, there's no reason to get out of bed. Mm-hmm. I mean, like really, like there's no reason. And Dave's like, it's true. It's sad when you run out, but
yeah.
Actually in preparation for like being home and having a baby and like, just preparing for our sleep schedule to be, not regular, we ordered extra boxes and to be prepared so that we have, what we need.
Yeah.
To sustain ourselves.
Yes. So. Yes. It is. It's the best. I know a few people who made like, they don't love the taste of it. I don't know. It doesn't bother me. So
I've been, because I have to, not have to, but I'm consuming the 6 dates a day.
Yeah.
I've been starting my coffee, like doing the hot water. And then I like take the pit out, put a date in it, do King coffee, collagen, and let it soak for a little bit.
Yeah. Ooh.
And then blend it and then drink it. And it's like sweetened by the date because I'm just trying to be creative because at some point, like 6 dates a day, anything.
It's a lot.
Every day is a lot. So yeah, but it's pretty good.
Yeah. That sounds delicious. I say we always put dates in our almond milk when we make almond milk and it's very good. Yeah. Yeah. You have to have King coffee on this list because it's the best.
Yeah, it is. We gave someone our espresso maker because we were like, we just don't use it. I'm like, I don't want it sitting in the shelf for no reason.
No. But yeah, I mean, I honestly don't. Occasionally we'll get a cold brew somewhere, but for the most part, like,
do you ever end up finishing it? I always like buy coffee out and then there's like this much left at the bottom and I'm like, never finish it anymore.
Yeah. I would say like 90% of the time, if I am like, someone's like, let's meet for coffee. I'm like, great. And I would just bring my King coffee pack in and be like, can I just have steamed milk, please? And then I just add it to it. Yeah. And I just laugh because I went to coffee with someone like a couple months ago. We show up and we both get it. I wasn't there when she ordered. And so she wasn't there when I ordered. And so we're sitting down, we both have our coffee and then we both like pull out our King coffee packets. And I was like, oh, good idea.
That's awesome.
Because we're both like, I will feel terrible if I have regular coffee.
Yeah. It's just not what it used to be. And there used to be like that dopamine hit of like, oh, I'm going to go to Starbucks real quick and grab a drink. And now I'm like, I don't need to give them my money. Like, mind you, they do have really good coconut milk. Like it's delicious.
I like they do. And most places don't.
Yeah. It's like watery. Yeah. But so moving on, so I just had a birthday like last month and one of the gifts my brother and sister-in-law got me it was a little Polaroid camera. And like, it's like the thing I didn't know I needed. It's so precious because like through the last, couple weeks, 3 weeks that we've had it, like it's been really precious to like take pictures of like the bump and save it. And like, I don't know. I just love the thought of like someday being able to be like showing her the Polaroids. Cause like you can take pictures on your phone and they're great, but like they're buried under like 17,000 other photos.
And wait till she comes and then there's going to be 70,000 more
of just her doing the same face, but that was something that like, I was like, oh, like again, something about like, it's the little things. It's like, oh, like an actual real photo that like when we take a picture or like a group photo, like when they gave it to us, like, so my brother Jake and Irene came over on the day of my birthday and gave me it. And Jake was trying to give me a tutorial on how to use it. And I had already figured it out. And I was like, hey, don't press this button because that's the photo button. And he was like, what's this one? And he pushed it and he took a photo of himself. And it's like this awful angle where it's like all chin, all up his nostrils. And it's like on our mantle. And I'm like, I love it. See, like, it's just like the little things like that. But yeah, that's just something that's been bringing me joy. I like it.
Yeah. I love that too, because I feel like if you go to develop them, like it just takes time and you may or may not do it. But like that, like you instantly have it. You can write on the back. You can write, the date or whatever really quickly. And it's just so fun.
Yeah. Especially if it's a bump pick, then I'm like, I usually put like however many weeks and days I am. And then like, I know it now, but I'll probably in 10 years not remember how far along I was. But I should probably put what kid it is too, just in case.
Yeah. There is an art of, I don't know, we've lost some, I don't know how you'd say it, but like there's something special we have lost in like only digital photos.
Yeah.
I remember my grandma's old photo albums, that just smelled old, and you just flip, and there were just
there was like
hundreds
lace
of
that was hot glued on.
I love it. Just so precious.
Yeah.
And then you're like, now we're like, I don't know, just flip through your phone, look at all the thousands of pictures.
Yeah.
That will never be developed.
Yeah.
I don't know, what number are we at? I have a couple. I'm trying to decide which are they A list
I have
or B
2
list?
left.
Okay. So I would say, honestly, Castor Oil Packs.
Oh, I almost put that on there, but
Did you?
I didn't because
You're like, Emily's going to do it.
well, seriously, everything I was like, that'll be on Emily's list probably.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. It was my favorite.
So Shannon, who was on the podcast, not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before, last episode, she asked about the castor oil packs when she was here, just visiting, because she thought it was like a little, like, I don't know, a ketchup packet of castor oil that you eat.
Oh,
and
sure.
So apparently at some point in the podcast, because she was listening to the podcast, she was like, and I was pregnant, and she was like, yeah, I the castor oil pack, whatever. And she was like, are you drinking castor oil? You shouldn't be drinking castor oil. And I was like, I'm not. And it's also an external thing. And so I showed it to her, and she's like, that's interesting. And then Queen of Thrones just came out with the thyroid one.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah. And
do you want to explain what it is?
Kitty ones, and they have sleep mask ones. Have you seen that one?
For what purpose? Like to put castor oil on?
Mm-hmm. So you put it on like your eyelashes or under your eyes, and it helps with lymphatics of your face as well as the hair growth. So castor oil also is really great at helping grow hair. So you can put it on your scalp or put it on your eyelashes. It's just messy.
Yeah. I can just because I was picturing how I do it on like my liver, and how you just like drizzle it on there and you put it on there. I just picture drizzling on the eye. This be like
maybe not great.
No, I don't know that that's I'm good.
So castor oil packs, we won't go into the whole history of them, but essentially the reason I love them is because it takes energy internally to break down our food and our supplements and all these things. And whether you absorb them efficiently or digest things efficiently, like there's so many factors that goes into that. And so I think that part of a healthy lifestyle and part of the things that are helpful for me, because that's one point, just being so sensitive health-wise, I had to be really, really particular of what went in my body. But externally, I could do a lot. And I was, there was a lot of benefit to it. So I started using castor oil packs really to help regulate the inflammation in my stomach, as well as overall digestion. But essentially, you just take castor oil, and you want a good quality castor oil, right? Because I feel like there's definitely qualities out there that are not great. It oxidizes pretty quickly. So like having it in a dark glass bottle, so you're not adding in more toxins, is important. But I love Queen of Thrones specifically because it's just so much less messy than trying to make a pack on your own. Mm-hmm. But then it's a really great organic flannel with, it's not plastic, but it's plastic-ish material. So the oil won't seep through. Yeah. But then just, putting it on the castor oil. I actually like putting it directly on my skin because I don't like the squish feeling. Yeah. And then, taking specifically Queen of Thrones is what I like, but you can make your own. And then you tie that around an organ system. And then ideally overnight, if not for 45 minutes to overnight. And that just really helps absorb into the skin. It helps break down inflammation and helps digestion. It helps, actually, you can get into a really good parasympathetic state by just having that kind of wrapped around you. And again, there's so many other great things in terms of you can use castor oil for everything. But it's fairly cheap, and I feel like it works great with adults and kids. So I feel like I can definitely tell it's part of my sleep routine, but part of that sleep routine, right, of like just getting relaxed, and also like just digestion in the morning is always way better if I've had castor oil on before.
Do you do it every night?
Yeah. And even if I don't do a full pack, sometimes I just kind of massage it into my belly and then put a t-shirt on and go to bed.
Yeah. Well, something I do, just because we only have 2 sets of sheets and I don't want to get crazy sheets, is I get, those like workout bands that you, like that make your abdomen sweat. Mm-hmm. I do the castor oil pack, and then I put that over it to like, not only like maybe in my mind, I'm like, okay, it'll probably like open the pores and it'll help absorb. But also like it's another barrier between
you and the sheet.
Me and the sheet. Like, so it's castor oil pack, the like belly band, and then a t-shirt or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I, just because I don't want to buy new sheets and
yes.
So,
yeah.
Which is great. But
yeah, but it is definitely a favorite.
Yeah, I love it. I miss it, actually. I miss it a lot because it was just really good for, I mean, if I ate something that I knew I was like, oh, this isn't agreeing with me, like I can tell it's going to, you know, whatever. It was really great to regulate digestion. I bought one for Dave. He never used it. Used it once during a liver detox. And gave it to someone else. What a shame. Throwing you under the bus, David.
I have no comment.
Okay. So next one it doesn't have to be a whole conversation, but I've been on the birth ball, like, I mean, every day because, you know, fetal positioning in this season of life, it is very important to me because, you know, besides like right now, I've basically only sat on the birth ball for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now to make sure that, you know, pelvis ligaments are open and she's in a good position and, you know, trying to encourage labor. So but I didn't realize until like I got pregnant that like there are specific sizes that go with like your height matters. Like, so there are different sizes of balls for different heights of people and weights of people. It's because you want your legs, your thighs to be level and like you want everything to be parallel. So,
is yours a good size then?
Yeah, it's great. I'm trying to remember what size I got and I don't remember, but I have to look at my Amazon, but that's something I've been digging.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like they would be good even outside of birth, right? Like we lose so much when we sit.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in general, I feel like we totally used to have them and I would love just sitting on them, just bouncing. I mean, and they're kids
like $14. Yeah. Like it's not bad.
Yeah. I feel like our dog kept popping them. He would like bite them and then it would. And so I was like, I just kind of forgot about it. But now that you say that, I'm like, no, like they were good to, if you were going to sit.
Well, it forces good posture. Like it forces you to sit up straight. And it also forces you to like sit properly. Like it's kind of hard to sit not. So what's the word I'm looking for? Ergonomically? What am I looking for?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
What's the word? Like, yeah, okay. He's nodding his head. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that. So it's great. That's what I'm loving. But that might change out of my top 5 soon.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you're just in a good habit of it and you're going to nurse and everything, just sitting on your ball.
I don't know. I'm pretty excited about that recliner post giving birth. Cause like, you know, I've never had a brand new piece of furniture ever. In my life. Like even now, like we have a used bed. I guess we bought our bed frame new, but I don't know. When we were talking about, having a baby and, I was like, where's going to be like the breastfeeding station kind of like through maternity leave. And I was like looking on Facebook Marketplace, all of them were fabric. And in my old age, I've just gotten grossed out about buying used fabric, like chairs, like recliners and stuff.
Yeah.
And so,
do you feel like part of it's because I don't know. I know what I know. And sometimes it's really hard to be like, wait,
kind of hard to unknow it.
Yeah. Like what chemicals did you use? Where did you put this? Who was sitting on this?
Yeah. Yeah. How was their hygiene? Like,
yes.
Like so it's my first like new chair. So I'm really excited about the recliner. So yes, there'll be birth ball, but like, I'm excited to like actually recline. Cause like I haven't reclined in like
a long time,
forever. And guys, first world problems, but it's, I mean, also just like laying on your back, like you don't do that when you're pregnant. Cause it doesn't work, but
I feel like after pregnancy, I just never went back on my back. I always just laid on my side now. Like I was thinking about that the other day and I was like, never slept on my side when I was little or like in high school. But like post baby, I only ever sleep on my side with a pillow between my legs. That's just how I got sleep now.
Okay.
It's
better for your hips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. So, I don't know. Okay. So this is somewhat fairly new, but I seriously love it. And you can't do it yet because you're pregnant. But when you're not pregnant, I'm totally bringing it over and you're going to try it. But have you heard of...
Go ahead. No, go
You
ahead.
said that and then it just went. I'm like, wait, what is it called? Oh my word.
I was going to say, I can't believe neither of us have said red light and it's not on my list.
Yeah, it totally was in my list, but this is like my new favorite. Oh my word. The Prana mat. Have you seen this? So it is like this huge.
Is it the needles?
So it's like acupressure. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like these little roses that have just like all these spikes on it. And so you feel it and you're kind of like, ouch, how in the world is that going to feel good? But like I have a pillow and then like a whole mat and just like laying on it.
Like naked?
So I'm not there yet because it's not comfortable. Like I need at least a barrier right now until I think I get used to it. But it does, like it makes such a difference in terms of just like tension and like, it's almost like a massage in a weird way. Like just the way that like the pokey things, I'm not explaining this well, but
the pokey
things. They're the Kate's like, these are beautiful.
See, I'm picturing like a
roses.
magician. I'm picturing a magician laying on a bed of nails.
Yes. No, it's not a bed of nails. But I mean, it is like you have to like position just right and then like just relax.
Oh.
And as you relax, like all the little points like get in, I don't know, especially like on my neck and stuff. Like my neck tends to be tight and like laying on that, it just relaxes it. So I don't have.
What is it? What's its intention? Like, what is its benefit?
So it's kind of similar to like acupuncture. Not in the way that it moves energy, but in the way it's like hitting certain points. But it's just like the pressure aspect. So you're just like laying on there and it just like calms your nervous system down. It like calms your muscles down. Yeah.
Wow.
It's weird. Like I like will fall asleep on it. And you think, how in the world would you fall asleep on something pokey? But I think it's because there's so many. And so as you just relax into it, it's like fun on your feet. Like it's like a massage on your feet.
Do your kids do it?
Kate loves it. Alex is not so sure about it, but he also is not so sure about a lot of things.
Okay.
And he doesn't always give it a fair try, but it is, John loves it. Kate loves it. Yeah. So I feel like I hit a point where I was like, I'm bent over on a computer. Like I'm trying all these different things, like sometimes between the kids and then work, like I just don't. I was like, John, I need to either start going to a massage therapist like once a week because like, or I need another tool to have at home. And so anyway, so we got this because this was obviously cheaper than me going somewhere all the time. And like 90% of the time I will fall asleep on it. If I like go use it right before bed and I'm tired, I will just fall sound asleep and wake up and move. And then I'm like, oh, ouch. Oh, wait, I'm still laying on it.
Jeez. So you go to turn and you're assaulted. Yeah. Yes. Interesting.
But it is. Okay. It is. You're not supposed to use it when you're pregnant.
Okay.
But
well, a lot of people think acupuncture, like there's a lot of people have a lot of opinions, but a lot of people don't do acupuncture in pregnancy. And some people do in like the third trimester.
Yeah. And me, again,
I don't know anybody who does it. So
most things, I think when you're pregnant, right? It's like, well, we just haven't tested it, but yes.
Yeah. There's lots of things I do that a lot of people don't do. And I'm like,
yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
It's fine.
But yes, it is a new favorite in our house of like everyone, like even talking about camping this summer. And John was like, are we bringing the pillow at least? Like, are you bringing at least the pillow? Because we might need to like lay on it.
Oh, interesting.
So it does. It feels really good on your head. It's like, it takes a second and then you're like, no, actually it feels really nice. Okay.
I'd be curious to have him try it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Interesting.
Dave, try it.
We'll just come over and crash. This will be fine.
Yes.
So my final product that I haven't used in about 9 months, but I will use is my Daisy, which is a fertility tracker that basically every morning I would just wake up and put the thermometer under my tongue and it would take like 30 seconds. It would take my temperature and then it would either pop up with a red light, green light, or a yellow light. And that would basically, instead of doing the fertility awareness method where you like have to write down your temperature and then kind of look at the chart to figure out like what that means. And then like you could chart cervical mucus instead of doing like all that, which is kind of laborious. I did that for a little while and it was just like, oh, this is not sustainable for long term. It tells you right then, like yellow means it's not sure. Green is like you can have unprotected sex and you won't get pregnant. And then red is like you're close to ovulating or you are ovulating. And you should, use protection if you're not wanting to get pregnant. But it does flash red on the day you ovulate because it knows based off your temperature because like it's very rhythmic. So it's a pricey thing, but like, so the Daisy 2.0, the one I have was like $240, I think, but I've had it for 3 years. And so like for, like that's just not bad. And it's supposed to, it's warranted for 7. And so unless your dog chews it.
Oh no.
That's happened to my first one. Yeah. So, but I liked it so much. I bought another one and luckily like I messaged Daisy because it was only like after 2 months of having it. I was like, my puppy chewed it and just destroyed it. And they were like, well, your life sucks. Here's 30% off. Come on. And I was like, thanks. But yeah, it was, and truly, the Daisy was like the way I learned it helped me learn my cycle that much more because it tracks into an app. Like it remembers the data and it tracks into an app. So I have data. Excluding the last 9 months, I have data from the last 3 years of my cycle and, and like it keeps track and, I know exactly when we conceived and know exactly when implantation happened. So it's a really great tool that like, I don't know that I'll ever, I definitely will never ever go on birth control again, but like, it's just a really handy product that I don't think I would ever live without.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great. And I think sometimes people get, sticker shock when they see something like that. But then the reality is like, how much money and time do we spend on, other forms of birth control? Yeah.
Well, so like I've had it since 2018. But like when you do that up by year, it's not that bad. Like, it's an upfront cost, but also it's a lot, gives you peace of mind. Like, especially once it like knows your schedule, like your cycle, which is hard to like relinquish that power. Like, that's why like when people ask me about it, I'm usually only recommending it to like married women who I'm like, hey, like make sure you're like in a place where your life wouldn't be ruined if you got pregnant. Like, because not everything nothing is 100% like,
right. And
we
got pregnant with Alex on birth control. So
yeah,
it doesn't always matter.
Yeah.
Nothing, even birth control is not very accurate. As accurate as people think it is.
But we love Alex. He's great.
Yes. God had different plans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, the last thing I was going to say was red light for sure.
Okay. I ruined it. Sorry.
No. I think it's great because we both love red light.
Yeah.
And so I feel like red light, specifically near and far infrared, just having the spectrum. So this is what I like to think of in general. And I think we've talked about this too. Like, knowledge can make us super fearful, or knowledge can create wisdom in which we have tools and we know when to use those tools. And then we don't have to be afraid. So like Alex had a pretty good fever last week, but it's like, yes, but I know what to do when that happens. So I don't have to be afraid that his fever is high. I'm like, nope, this is what we do. And red light is one of those things that we do, when either during the winter and or when someone's not feeling good or in pain. Like, it's really, really great for inflammation. It's great. Actually, it helps drive in castor oil. So sometimes like if you have castor oil, I will put my red light on top of that. But just that near and far infrared spectrum, as well as the light itself, like just has so many amazing health benefits at all across the spectrum. But again, it's just a tool that I have found that like my kids will even know when to go grab it. Like, oh, my belly's not feeling great, or I have this weird pain, and they'll go grab the red light and turn it on. Or like, I'm just really tired. I need some energy. Okay, I'll go plug the red light in, So I feel like, again, it's just such a beautiful tool to have.
Yeah. Love it. I love the red light. When Dave and I had a pretty gnarly like cough, sinus infection thing. I don't know what it was. I'm just labeling that because it was just, runny nose. And I ended up with a bad cough. And like every morning is one of those things where like I would hack myself awake and have to go sit on the recliner to be like upright to like not cough or whatever. But my red light was like right there, and I would just put it on my chest, and my coughing would like stop within minutes. And that's how, like, so I ended up just going to, like, when I'd start coughing in the morning, I just kept the red light by my bed and I'd put it on my chest and go back to sleep.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's
Love
awesome. Yeah. It's such a helpful tool.
Yeah. Just the little things, man.
Mm-hmm.
The little things. It's great. Any parting thoughts?
I don't think so.
No. Dave, any parting thoughts? Favorite products? No, he's shaking his head no. He was gonna engage, but then he gave us the wave off. But
maybe he was gonna talk about the daisy or something, but
yeah. I mean, he likes the daisy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to get into it. It's fine. We wanted to do like a lighter, more conversational episode that was like about,
yeah,
it's great to learn things about health and get educated, but sometimes it's okay to just, learn about new things that aren't so heavy about health. Cause then it can also drive some of that fear of,
yeah.
There's been a couple of people I've talked to that have been like, oh, like I watched your episode. I didn't realize microwaves were so bad. And I'm like, well, we didn't say that to like, make you afraid, but
yes,
the more you know.
Yeah.
So
I feel like knowledge should create wisdom.
Yeah.
And so, but some people just get stuck in the fear. Like nothing is ever worth it if fear is driving it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here today. Thanks for listening. And if you're listening to this, that means I probably already had a baby. Yes.
Woohoo. You've probably already seen it on Instagram. Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, I also could still be pregnant. Who knows? Somebody come just kidding. Okay, goodbye.
Thanks for being here with us today. We would love to connect with you over on Instagram at underthesun_podcast. Please help us out by subscribing on YouTube, leaving a review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. We'll see you next time. Please remember this information is made available to you for informational and educational purposes only. This is in no way a substitute for medical advice.